we're gonna be just kind of like surviving in Iraq and, you know, getting to know the way of life there, actually living there. Season 2 is gonna be building a new life. So like, this is not just a road trip. You know, you gotta be smart. You don't want to tell your kids why, you know, you're living in the slums one day, right? And yeah, it's just a shitty rainy day in Greece, but it's kind of beautiful. It's kind of beautiful. And we're gonna be in Iraq in just a few days. Hi, how are you? Good. Thank you. Bye. I don't even know how much that was. I think it'll charge us once we get off. Probably not go too fast here because I think if you're on a toll, they can see how fast you clock in and clock out. So if it's too fast, you might be able to get fined. I'm not sure if that's a thing in Greece, but it is a thing in Canada, I'm pretty sure. Yo. Oh my god, this camera is really driving me nuts with the whole spinny thing. Okay, I've just been like deep in thought here. Hold on, going back to the old ways. That was a waste of money, that thing. No, it helped for a few videos. So listen, I'm just thinking, like, deep in thought here, and I'm just realizing I'm gonna be like living in Iraq until further notice. You know, I'm just gonna be fully immersing myself in Iraq. And that means my mom was telling me my uncle got his old house ready for me. So I'm gonna have my own place to stay. I didn't even have a plan. Like, I'm just showing up like, hey guys, you know? I haven't even spoken to anybody because I'm not the type to pick up the phone and call people I know. I'm just not like that. Like, I love my family and my friends, but it's just something where I feel like it's more enjoyable when there's distance between you and then you get to reunite and catch up, and I feel like it means more than staying in touch every single day. And I just not the type, like it's me. I'm sorry, it might sound weird, it might sound like, to some people it might sound crazy, to some people might get it, you know? So those of you who think it's like, how could you? Well, I mean, I don't know, I'm living my life, and I just, you know, I don't know what to talk about. It's like, hey, how are you? It's nice every now and then, like, accidentally get on the phone, or, you know, but I don't really have an explanation for it because I haven't really thought about it too much, and it's just coming up now. Maybe I'll have to think about that one, get you a better answer. I need to think about things before I give an answer. And that's also the kind of person I am. Okay, so I'm just like, we need Greek food, man. We cannot, what is this? We're just doing highway the whole way there? I don't want to do highway the whole way there. I want to try some Greek food. Let's ask ChatGPT. Pass into Turkey, and I'm wondering if you could advise me which city, town, or area should we kind of be looking for a restaurant.
So if you're looking for a great Greek meal before you cross into Turkey, there's a place called Taverna Zorbas that's really well loved. It's known for fantastic Greek specialties. Another good option nearby is Amos Telemitsi restaurant, which also gets great reviews. Either one should give you a delicious final taste of Greece before you continue your journey.
I'll look them up, I'll let you know. Yeah, the two options she gave me, one is like, the second one's completely out of the way, the first one doesn't even come up. So I think we're gonna, like, I don't know, maybe we'll ask a local at a gas station or something, but I'm really getting hungry. I didn't eat yet today. All I had was those snacks. I really wish I stopped at one of those Albanian restaurants. They look really good. I always push it when I pass one, I'm like, next one, I get to the next one, no, and that's my fault. So we'll have to find something. I feel like the more central north we get, the more we're gonna start seeing, because it's been pretty dead, pretty uneventful here. Also, I'm about to book a plane ticket, and I got like a little bit of a vacation again in the plans. Because guys, I told you, like, I'm not living that miserable lifestyle anymore. We're gonna be living out here. It's very cheap, very affordable to do stuff. So from now until October, we're gonna be just kind of like surviving in Iraq and, you know, getting to know the way of life there, actually living there. Because I've stayed for a month or 2 months. This thing is driving me nuts. So, you know, it's not like my first time to Iraq. I've stayed more than 2 months, but as a kid, as a teenager, the last time I went, I was like 22, 21, staying with family, right? But now I'm gonna be kind of like needing to figure out how to make money and stuff. I'm not saying I'm gonna make money there. I can, probably will, but I'm gonna be finding my own ways of making money using my skill set. Maybe I'll open a business there. Maybe I'll open a business in Europe. Maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll do both and something else. So we just gotta work up to that, you know? And this is just season 1, guys. Like, season 0 is leaving Canada, season 1 is getting to Iraq, season 2 is gonna be building a new life. So like, this is not just a road trip. We're actually like, we're just coming up and doing all this from really nothing. All we had was enough cash to get us here, and now we gotta figure it all out. Like, we're literally on our last float. I got a little bit of money for small investments, but nothing crazy, and I gotta be super careful with how I spend that. I got a few things in mind. I just don't like to speak before doing, so let's do, because as you guys have seen, every time I say something won't happen, it happens, and every time I say something will happen, it doesn't happen. So I'm pretty good with that, so I'm best to just keep my mouth shut, and yeah, we'll just figure it out as it comes. But for now, I am booking a ticket. I'm gonna be meeting up with a lifelong friend, and I won't tell you where yet, but I will tell you it's gonna be pretty fun, and we're gonna be seeing more than one country. Yeah, that's gonna be coming up in October, start of October. So there is a lot of content on the way. There's building a life while in Iraq. There's this trip that's gonna be coming up that's gonna be pretty darn good. Some places that people don't really go and document that much. Not saying we're going to North Korea, it's nothing like that crazy, but it's still pretty nuts. It's a good dynamic, okay? Let's just say it's a good dynamic. It's gonna be a nice dynamic, and it's gonna be some pretty good schlogs. I'll tell you that. You know, let me tell you. Yeah. So we're in Greece. We're not far from Turkey. It's pretty fast, this drive. We got 4 hours 20 minutes until we're in Turkey, and you know what? I like ChatGPT's enthusiasm. We're not gonna have any issues at the border. They're just gonna let us in. You know, it's just probably gonna be some of the lads, you know, they're gonna like the flag, they're gonna like the license plate, they're gonna like the whole thing. We're just gonna become boys with the Turkish border control, right? And hopefully it's not some old dudes like it has been. I like it when it's younger people. It's easier to connect. They're not as like up the ass, you know, like obviously the guy is from Canada. There's no security threat here. You don't have to be so like, you never know. You really do never know, and it's good that they're erring on the side of caution. And maybe us young people are not cautious enough. Maybe that's what it is, right? So that's just me shedding my biased opinion to you guys. Don't listen to it all the time, because I'm thinking as I go, and it's not my final thought. We're just thinking together right now, guys. Okay? I hope you know that about me by now. If you're new here, that's how I kind of work. And yeah, it's just a shitty rainy day in Greece, but it's kind of beautiful. It's kind of beautiful. And we're gonna be in Iraq in just a few days, and we're gonna enjoy the Turkish food. But here's the thing, my family has no idea. They think I'm gonna be there in November. Like, this whole vacation I'm doing in October is supposed to happen before I even get to Iraq, but I just got super antsy in Italy, and I realized, like, what am I doing with my life? This is not the time to be vacationing. Like, yeah, you're doing this road trip, but it doesn't have to take 4 or 5 months, you know, to get to where you want to get. and I could have explored more, but we would have been pushing the cash situation, and I might have had to dig into my investment money, and I don't want to do that. I want to focus on building a foundation, infrastructure, an empire, and getting a family going at some point. So, you know, you got to be smart. You don't want to tell your kids why, you know, you're living in the slums one day, right? You want to be chilling in a castle or in like an Iraqi palace, and, you know, then you got stories to tell while comfortable, you know, not out of like some slumlord situation. Okay? So that's the plan here. That's why I've expedited this trip. It's just my fire blood. It's something in my gut is telling me don't stick around. Like, I haven't even desired staying anywhere. Even Albania, I was like, oh, maybe I'll spend like 4 or 5 days. Not even. I was just like, something in me is waking me up early in the morning, and it's like, move, bro. Drive there one shot. Stop sitting around, you know? And that's if my body's telling me that, man, I gotta listen to it, because it's been right every time, even the times I didn't listen to it. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And we're gonna be in Iraq very soon, and we're gonna just be figuring it out. But that's gonna be pretty crazy. I mean, am I gonna be the first? I keep forgetting, I'm like a YouTuber now. I'm not very famous, not famous at all, but I'm a YouTuber. And we're doing shlogs here, not vlogs. And I'm gonna be like the only like proper English, born in Canada speaking Iraqi Shlogger, you know? Yeah, you got some videos on YouTube of people going to Iraq, but it's not gonna be on this level, okay? It's not gonna be on this level, let me tell you. It's not gonna be anywhere near this level. So yeah, and then after that vacation, back to Iraq, maybe? Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Iraq for winter. Why? Because, number one, I would love to see Iraq in the winter and go south. It's not enjoyable in the summer. I've never been. Actually, I went to Baghdad when I was 3 or 4, and I just remember going to the house that we went to, and it was in a nice garden, and that's all I remember. And that was the only time I went to Iraq I think it was like spring. It was maybe winter. It was the only time I went outside of the summer. I've only been in the summer, and Iraq is beautiful in the winter when you go south. And the north, where I'm from, it gets snow like maybe, and if it does snow, it'll melt the same day, and just a little bit, unless you go to the mountains. The mountains got snow, and you could go skiing. So we're gonna check that out. We're gonna check out the mountains probably this summer, like probably soon after landing. And then after that, you know, just figure things out, get my documents done, figure out how we're gonna deal with the car. You know, we're having that whole conversation with ChatGPT, but ChatGPT's told me like 4 different things 4 different times about that. So honestly, I don't think it's like really a big deal. She told me you can't camp in France and sleep in your car at the beach. I was able to, no problem. Italy, she told me you can't. The cops, you saw them, they told us, yeah, no problem, sleep right here, as long as it's not in a tent. But she was telling me you can't do it in a car. So I feel like she's just going off some like rules that are on the internet, but it doesn't work like that in Iraq. And you know, maybe we'll run into some issues, but then again, you get a connection, you get something going, you get some like paperwork made, and the car is in Iraq. Like at the end of the day, we're bringing the car in and nobody's kicking us out. Worst case, we drive to Turkey for a day, come back and reset the timer. But I'm gonna figure it out. I think that this car is gonna pretty much be home based out of Iraq. Like, I'll definitely drive it to Europe again because it's so close, but I don't plan, like, I mean, unless I bought like a house in like Albania, you know, if I bought a house in Albania or something, then maybe I'll move the car back and forth, you know. But for now, car's gonna be sticking around there, even if I'm moving around. Like if I'm going to Asia, if I'm going to South America, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, but I'm gonna be up to stuff, right? That's the plan. It's not really a plan, but it's a plan in motion. Yeah, and I'm pretty excited because there's just a lot down the line. And then after that vacation, my cousin's gonna be coming to Iraq for Christmas, and yeah, Christmas in Iraq. It's not really a thing, but it is for the Christians, and it's a cool, you know, we could go check out like Assyrian, no, is it Assyrian? Yeah, there's Assyrians. There's different like sects of ethnic groups in Iraq that are not Arab or Kurdish. Kurdish is the second largest, but then you have other ethnic groups that like Yazidis. There's a few, and we're gonna just go check out their neighborhoods. There's some like really beautiful beautiful places in Iraq. Churches, like all sorts of stuff. But yeah, we're gonna check all that out, and that's depending, you know, either this summer or back in the winter when I come back. And me and my cousin will probably do the Baghdad thing together and like check out the south. It was either 130 or 140, but 140 is what we're gonna do. By the way, we have 4 hours left and we have just over a half tank. So I think if we're good and the highways are like this the whole way, we're gonna make it to Turkey on this tank. Yeah, I mentioned this in the last video. Turkey is around 50 cents cheaper by the euro for fuel. We're definitely trying to avoid filling up here in Greece. We'll get a little bit if we have to, but Turkey is where it's at, 115 the euro, whereas here it's around, been seeing 172, 175, you know, it could be up to 177, 180. I wasn't sure if that one works, but it does. I didn't see the credit card sign until now, but we'll just stick to this one here. Let's see what the final charge is. It's probably it says toll rate is like 190. It's pretty cheap.